MOS, let me discuss now only. This MOS means it is 5 volt DC. 5 volt DC is connected to source or this is a drain, correct? Sorry, you can consider it a drain because higher potential we are assuming. And then the gate is either having 0 or 1 because the gate is the input from the logic, right? So the logic can be either 0 or 1. Complete digital because AND gate, NAND gate, OR gate, everything is digital, right? So if it is 0, it means this MOS is off. MOS is off means the output current of this MOS is 0. It means the thermocode corresponding to that is equal to 0. And if the input was 1, it means the current is very high because a gate high and drain is also high. It means the higher amount of current is flowing. So that is equal to the higher current I, which is equal to thermocode is equal to 1, right? So all of these currents will be summed up and then these will go to the uh, contribute the IF, right? And the output from the previous stage we can see, previous example, output is equal to minus of IF into R2 in this case, right? So this is how we will prepare our circuit. Okay, any query in this? Okay, sir, next slide please. Okay, so in this we have used HSpice software and we have used 180 nanometer CMOS technology. 180 nanometer node means the gate size, effective gate size is 180 nanometers. And why we have chosen this gate size? Because in India, lesser than this fabrication is not possible. So HCL Chandigarh is a fabrication lab, commercial fabrication lab, I must say, and that is going to provide us 180 nanometer CMOS technology. That's why we are choosing this particular technology node, so that if our design is good, that can be fabricated from there. And for your knowledge, they will support you if you have done something unique. They will support you in terms of fabrication. They will support. So the results are also verified using the ORCAD software, which is the free software. And this is 3 to 7 binary thermometer code converter, and after that we have converted that thermometer code to analog code. Sir, next slide please. Sir, next slide please. Slide number 6, sir.
Slide number 6.
Yes. So digital to analog converter results, these are the results actually for different bits. These are the results, how the things are going to change. Thermometer code, the uppermost is the bit number of bits B1, B2, B3, and then the lower portion is the thermometer codes, which is all zeros, 1, and then 2 of these are ones, like that, right? So you can see when all zeros are there, the outputs of thermometer codes are also all zero. And then when a single one in the binary code is there, the output only one bit is one. I mean, thermocode is having only single bit one. So it means this is going to contribute to the output. And the equivalent thermometer code to analog conversion is shown in figure number B over here. Fine. So what we are going to do in thermometer to analog conversion, we are going to just sum up all these currents, right? So 0, then 1, then second level, third level, up to 7th level will go. Fine. Any query in these results? No? Sir, next slide please. If there is any query, I am seeing the chat box continuously, so you can type it over here. Yeah, slide number 7, sir. Okay, so this is DAC, output to calculate INL and DNL. I have given this known idealities yesterday. I have given you as an assignment. So known idealities are actually the part of performance matrix of DACs and ADCs. Okay, so this is INL is integral non-linearity, and DNL refers to differential non-linearity. Okay, so these are actually the performance parameters. So we have calculated these two from this graph. How we'll be calculating? I'm just going to explain. Just look at the graph. Here in this graph, what we have one straight line, which is red color. This is the ideal output, which we were expecting. Okay. Another line is the analog output we are getting with the help of the circuit design. So here, whatever circuit we have designed, it might be having some parameter mismatch or something else. For example, differential amplifier. This itself has some parameter mismatch. We are talking about op-amp. So this op-amp was not ideal one, because the ideal op-amp should have infinity input resistance and the output resistance should be 0, right? So this was not ideal. So because of this, there will be some problems in the, the output will not be exactly the same as ideal output is. So you can see the blue line, sometimes it is going up and other times it is going down. Okay, so the maximum deviation from this line, this is DNL. Okay, maximum deviation from this line is your DNL. INL is also a similar parameter. INL is, you are taking the starting and ending point and then you are trying to find out how much deviation is there. So for each and every bit you can find out the deviation and then you can find the INL. Okay, so this was given in yesterday's assignment. You can just do it over there. Next slide, sir. Slide number 8, sir. Sir, slide number 8.
That's slide number 8.
I hope everybody is able to see the slide number 8 over here. This is binary to analog equivalent obtained from the circuit. So in the tabular form, we have shown it over here. So the first column is the time step. So at 10 nanoseconds, then 20 nanoseconds, and so on. These are the time steps. Binary inputs. So I have written all the combinations from all zeros to all ones. Then what analog output actually we obtain? So all zeros means 0 we obtained, 001 we obtained, 0.04, and likewise. So you can see there is a little bit deviation, right, from the exact values. Okay, and this deviation is visible from the graph in the previous slide, which we have already seen, and that is why we are going to calculate DNL and INL, so that we can find it out, everybody can find it out, that how much it is deviating from the actual value of the D to A converter. Next slide, sir.
Slide number 9.
Yes, sir. Slide number 9. Yeah. So this slide is results and discussions. The supply voltage taken was 1.8 volt, because we are going to take 180 nanometer technology node, and that actually provides us 1.8 volt maximum voltage. So that's why the supply voltage has been taken 1.8 volt, and the op-amp produces the swing from minus 1.78 to 1.74. So this op-amp swing, we have to tune it. When you are going to do it once, you will not get this particular swing in this range. Our job is to get the swing from minus VDD to plus VDD, because you know the op-amp has two supplies. One is positive VCC or VDD and negative VCC or VDD. Both of these are same in magnitude but opposite in polarities. So our job is to tune it in such a way that we are going to get the full swing. So in order to get full swing, you may tune the current biasing, or you may tune the differential amplifier. You may increase the number of stages. Instead of 3 stages, you may use the 4 stages where the gain has been multiplied and all. So this is how you will prepare. gain, bandwidth, slew rates obtained from the op-amp design are 66 dB we got, and then bandwidth is 3.6 megahertz, which is quite well, and the slew rate, which is very important parameter, we obtained 10.54 per microsecond. So these are the parameters for op-amp alone, fine. And then we are using this op-amp in our project, so we have to discuss about those parameters. So the staircase output of DAC we have already seen. It shows that there is monotonicity in the circuit. Mono means one, right? So monotonicity means this is always keep on increasing. Like otherwise, what can happen? Sometimes it might be possible that corresponding to all zero, let us say there are two consecutive bits or three consecutive bits. So it might be possible that, okay, so it might be possible that corresponding to the lower bit you are getting higher value, but corresponding to higher bit set you are getting lower value. So then it is not monotonic. If this is not monotonic, it means you are in a big problem. And in that case, DNL and INL will also be very large. So here we have calculated the INL and DNL 0.015 and 0.045 respectively we have observed, which are very low, and it is very much advantageous for DAC circuits. INL and DNL, these are the most important performance parameters for DAC circuits. Then one more important parameter is our power dissipation. So the total power dissipation in the circuit was obtained somewhat around some microwatts. Okay, so it was 632 microwatt power we have, total power dissipation was there. So this was about this circuit. Sir, next slide please.
Slide number
10.
10.
Slide number 10, conclusion. So the conclusion is we have used thermometer based approach thermometer current steering circuit in order to make digital to analog conversion, and we used 180 nanometer CMOS technology in HSPICE. Major advantage of using thermometer code is to provide low glitch energy, means the disturbances will not be there, and the performance is measured in terms of INL and DNL performance parameters, which we have already discussed, and we observed that INL and DNL were very small, and it was highly monotonic. This is monotonicity or the linearity, you can say this is also a performance parameter, and the results were verified using ORCID tool as well, which is a free software. The total power dissipation was obtained 632 microwatts. Okay, so applications of DACs are ranging from digital audio, data communication, etc. etc. Sir, next slide please.
Slide number 11.
Slide number 11, which is the last slide of this PPT. Okay, so yes, I will take the questions after finishing this. Jyotsna, I will take the questions a little later. So I have taken these references for this particular project. These are the references. So why I have shown you this case study is few of you are faculty members and others might be the MTech students. So your job is to publish papers or do some fruitful research so that it can be documented in the research library, digital library, right? So even a small problem can lead to research. You just need to know how to do the things and what exactly you need to do. Okay, so in this case what we have done, whatever the DACs you might have studied, I have taken just one DAC. Okay, and what I did is I tried to tune the parameters. I tried to make it from the scratch, like from the op-amp, and I try to tune the parameters of op-amp so that better performance can be achieved. And after that, I try to get lower value of DNL and INL the further improvements can be try to get the full swing, like at least 0 to 1.6 sinusoidal swing we should get. Okay. I also prepared one sinusoidal graph which was obtained from the simulations. I mean, we have taken the readings from the waveforms, and then we compiled that those readings, and then we obtained a sinusoidal graph. But that is not up to mark. That's why I have not shown that. Fine. So this is how you can prepare a research paper, or you can start your research, because this is the biggest problem. People know something, but they do not know how to make it into a research. So let me tell you, this assignment was given, there was a course, and this was a part of that assignment only. So we have, I mean, if even if you have 20 to 25% weightage to your assignments, you can give the assignments, you can give 10 to 15 marks, and give the flexibility, let them do. And because they are not experts, so you should be observer, you should get it done from the students, and the students do their best, because they are getting credit, their name will be there on the paper, or if they are writing thesis, it will be helpful for them. So you should work for that. So this is over from my side. If there is any query regarding this, you can type in the chat box, and after 5-7 minutes we are going to start the next part of this. Slew rate, bandwidth. Okay, Anirudh, actually slew rate, bandwidth, in order to tune this, what we can do, if you want to increase this, you have to tune the parameters. Maybe since the technology node says that this is the gate width, so other things you can change, right? If you go to the previous slide, let me show you the slide of op-amp, because these parameters are related to op-amp, correct? Sir, can you go to the slide number 3rd? Slide
Yes,
number 3rd, sir. Yes, sir. Slide number 3rd.
that's slide number 3rd.
So, is it visible, slide number 3rd, to everybody? Yeah? No?
I think, ma'am, it should be because we are able to. Yes, ma'am. I think
Yeah,
they
it
are
is
able to.
visible to people. Fine. So in the slide number 3rd, what we have done, okay, fine, it is visible to all. In the slide number 3rd, this is the op-amp circuit implementation. If you will see any analog book, generally Rajavi book has n number of configurations. What you can do, you will find different configurations, Gilbert cell and other cells. So there actually you can take any circuit and then try to tune its parameters. For example, look at this bottommost transistor. This is nm2. Are you able to see nm2? nm2 is the bottom transistor which is used in conjunction with NM3 in order to provide the current biasing. So this current biasing, if the current is very high, the things will change, right? And I mean the swing will get changed, and because of that everything will get changed. So you have to tune this current. So this is the current mirror we are going to use. So this current mirror you can tune, fine. And then likewise the upper parameters also you can tune, because this is technology node is 180, so you can tune your w can be tuned for everything like nmos, pmos, and everything. Okay. And then likewise the output stage can also be tuned. So just try all these tuning, and then you will see there a different set of results. That's why earlier I told that analog design is a little bit tougher, right? Because you will keep on tuning and then you will get the results. Okay. So Tanmay is asking, non-idealities of ADC means difference between ideal and the actual output. Actually this is one of the known ideality. Okay. But yes, in broader perspective you can think that this is the known ideality. So there are different non-idealities. For example, this output is the ideal output is the straight line, Tanmay. So this any deviation from this straight line means there is non-ideality. You can have gain error, means the slope of the practical output will not be same as you want from the ideal output. You can have offset error. Offset means the starting point is not zero and everything is shifted by the same value. Then apart from that, there can be DNL and INL values also. So these are few known idealities, and there are other known idealities also. But generally, we take care of these known idealities so that the performance can be better. Any other question? Sir, can we take 5 minutes break now?
Yes, ma'am.
If there is any question in this duration of 5 minutes, please keep on typing. I will respond after 5 minutes. Thank you.